Hello, my name is Callista and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. In the last episode, we finished off a few side quests that we had at the tower, and I mentioned that we would be heading to Redcliffe to finally get Sten's sword back. However, before we do that, I very quickly want to buy some things off of the quartermaster here.
You really killed all those abominations? I didn't think it was possible. I thought we'd all die here. I'm sure you need supplies after that, don't you?
Alright, let's trade. Yes, so at the Circle Tower, you can get infinite lyrium dust. And before we head into the deep roads, I want to have Qwinn just make stacks of lyrium potions. So, let's see, I'll get 2 stacks. There we go. Anything else? Corruptor agents, we don't really need. But we do need concentrators, yes. There we go. And seems this guy doesn't have any flasks. Which is a shame, but oh well. Anything interesting? Not for me. Yeah, I think I'm good with that. Out of curiosity, Zevran. Oh. Well, that was lucky. Okay, you have a lesser. As should you, Sten. And I was just gonna see, Zevran, how is this dagger compared to the edge? Ooh. It's slightly better, but the edge does have the, the +5 damage, +4 attack, +3 melee critical chance, whereas the Crow Dagger just has the +15 critical backstab damage. Ooh. I think I'm gonna keep him with the edge. I think that's good. Alrighty then. To Redcliffe Village. Yeah, Farron said that Qwinn had it, so gotta go bother the dwarf again. There we go. Now then, after this, again, I'm not gonna hop straight into the deep roads. There are a couple of things that we need to do on the surface. I want to go and check out Soldier's Peak. Levi, I believe his name was, he asked us right at the beginning of the game to go and help him with that. I think we should do that now, while we've got the chance. And then I think we're also gonna go and check out Denerim. Just because Alistair wanted to go and see his sister, we could be in the deep roads for a really long time. Hell, Alistair might die in the deep roads because the team that Artin is thinking of going with is Alistair because he's a fellow Grey Warden, Shale because Shale is a golem, and wait a minute, this was not where I meant to go. Whoops. Yeah, so Alistair, Shale, and Qwinn, because, we obviously need a healer. I'm not going to go into the deep roads without a healer. Now then, buddy.
Go celebrate, or whatever you have to do.
I'm looking for the Qunari sword you bought. What do you intend to do now? I could use your help with the Darkspawn. You're still alive. Lucky, I'll go. So we already spoke to Qwinn after the battle, I'm pretty sure at least. So I think, if I remember correctly, Qwinn said that he was... I don't think Qwinn had any interest in fighting the Darkspawn. He made that pretty clear that he left Orzammar to get away from the Darkspawn, and I don't think he'd be very likely to change that opinion. And I think as far as what he intends to do, he intends to stay in Redcliffe, I think. I'm looking for the Qunari sword you brought. I said that really strangely, excuse me. I'm looking for the Qunari sword you bought.
Now, why would you be interested in that?
It's mine.
You know, Farron didn't mention the giant he took it from was alive.
Name your price. Why don't you give up the sword and we'll go? Ooh. I don't know what Artin would go for here, because this guy bought it fair and square. He wasn't to know that the guy who owned the sword was alive. This guy shouldn't be out of pocket. At the same time, how do I put this? Basically, it was stolen property. You don't get to keep stolen property. If it's like if you're going to steal something, never steal artwork. Because, one, the buyer is taking a huge risk because, you know, it's artwork. If you're stealing, I don't know, a Van Gogh's sunflower picture, that's a really important piece of artwork. And if the buyer gets caught with it, they're just going to have it removed from them. Like, the police aren't going to be like, oh, you paid millions of dollars for this? Well, here you go for the stolen artwork you received. Here is your millions of dollars back. They're just going to be like, no, give us the Van Gogh back. Oh. At the end of the day, it's stolen goods. You don't get compensated for buying stolen goods. Why don't you give up the sword and we'll go?
Excellent idea. It's in my strongbox. Here's the key. Now, why don't you leave me alone?
Happily. Let's grab it. And while we're here, we're going to steal the rest of his stuff. Sten's sword. A Qunari greatsword. Though its blade shows nicks from numerous battles, it has obviously been well looked after. There we go.
It will...
Now then, I see no reason to wait till we're in camp. Sten is right here. Where is it? There we go. Sten.
Strange. I had almost forgotten it. Completion. Are you sure you are a Grey Warden? I think you must be an Ashkari to find a single lost blade in a country at war.
You're welcome, Sten. What will you do now? Now that you have your sword, shouldn't you report back? Ooh. He did have a job to do. From Artin's recollection, the only thing keeping Sten in Ferelden was the fact that if he went back, he would be killed on sight as a deserter, because no soldier would, you know, let their weapon go willingly as long as they drew breath. But now he's got his sword back. I think it's a fair point. Artin wouldn't want to keep him here if he wasn't willing to be here. What will you do now?
My sword is in my hand again. I should put it to use. And I could deliver a much more satisfying answer to the Arishok's question if the blight were ended. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. So you're staying then. You don't have to stay with us, Sten. I think we do better without you, actually. No, Sten has proven himself useful. Absolutely.
Then lead the way.
Yes, there we go. Is he using his sword? He is not. Sten! I've said this before. I like to give the characters stuff that is meaningful for them. It's why Zevran is wearing the Dalish gloves. Even though there are gloves that are better for him, this was a gift. And I think I would rather prioritize the gift over better equipment. I know I'm shooting myself in the foot. And it's the same with Sten. I think Sten would, you know, choose to use his weapon over the Dragonbone Cleaver, which is statistically better. Asala means something to him. So I see no reason why he shouldn't be using it. Okay. Very good. And there was a codex that had been updated? Sten's, I presume. Yes. Either you have an enviable memory or a pitiable life to know nothing of regret. The northern islands are remote, lush jungles that harbour cities rumoured to be the most extraordinary ever built. These are the lands of the Qunari, lands that no foreign eyes ever see. Only the stories of the 3 exalted marches waged against the giants have reached the south, until the arrival of Sten. The stoic giant in the cage was surely the strangest thing the people of Lothering had ever seen until the Blight struck. He was sent with a small group of Qunari soldiers to investigate the Blight and report back. Outside Lothering, they were ambushed by Darkspawn. They fought off the attack, but only Sten survived. Farmers found him dying and took him in, but when he awoke, alone and unarmed, he panicked, killing the entire family. Realizing he had sacrificed his honor, Sten waited for the villagers to come and surrendered, expecting death. His sword and his honor restored, Sten chose to continue with Artin and take the battle to the Archdemon. Sten has an eye for paintings, an appreciation that might seem out of character, but is actually an extension of Qunari discipline. He respects an artist for careful composition, a skill that is as much about where the brushstroke stops as where it begins. Very good. I'm glad we've been able to get Sten's sword back for him. Because, you know, Sten really has been with Artin almost since the beginning. God, Lothering seems like such a long time ago. My goodness. Now then, from here, I actually need to swap out my party.
Vashaden.
Braska.
Because to go to Soldier's Peak, I want Alistair, Morrigan, and Qwinn. To be perfectly honest, this tends to be my go-to team when I'm playing a dual-wielding rogue. This seems to be the best party composition for me. And now then, my dear. I'm pretty sure he needed dexterity. Let me just... 32 strength, 26 dexterity. Okay. In that case... There we go. And combat tactics. Yes, please. And yeah, Oh, wait a minute. What was this? Holy Smite. Ooh, yes, please. And then Morrigan. Yeah, with Morrigan, I really only need to go into magic and willpower. And you can have combat training. And... Death Hex, Sleep, Curse of Mortality. Oh, that is good. Oh, that is really good. Go on, then. Okie doke. So yeah, off to Soldier's Peak. We're helping Levi out at long last. God, I don't know where Levi's been waiting, but he's probably so impatient. Jeez. Just tapping his foot waiting outside the keep. Like, where are they? They said they'd be here 2 months ago. Jeez. Yeah, to Soldier's Peak. Then it does make sense to go to Denerim after Soldier's Peak, because like it's just down the road. Excuse me? Excuse me, Origin? Oh, what is this? Oh. There we go. Vessel of the Spirit. Unlocked. Ooh, Herlock Omega. Eee, okay. I'm thinking I'm gonna go after these guys. Just starve him of health. Come on, flurry. Oh, I've said it before. This is one of the reasons I like playing a dwarf. She resisted the fireball. She resisted that fireball. Yep. Love it. Okay. Ooh, lots of people went down. You.
Burn and run.
Lost. There we go. Now then, is everyone else dead? Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone is, so... Now then, Mr. Omega. You can get marked. Flurry. There we go. Very nice. Oh, there are guys over there. Okay. Oh, okay. You know what? I'm thinking I want to loot first. Okay, everyone back this way.
Immediately.
Now, what did you drop?
Very well.
Ooh, excuse me. Oh, that is useful. That is very useful. There was nothing up there, was there? There wasn't. I'm seeing things. Thank you. And we have this Herlock. Nothing back there. And then... There we go. Now, hello, gentlemen. Ooh, nice work, Artin. There we go.
It will be done.
Lyrium. Love it. Oh, and there are more. Oh. There we go. Now then. Hello. And you can get swift. And there we go. Oh, are you down? Oh, you're not. There we go. Is that everyone?
That was interesting. And draining.
What was that? Did you summon the spirit? I didn't know you could do that. Huh? I'm not sure what happened. So... Considering, one, Artin is a dwarf, two, Artin hasn't ever sat down and studied magic, I think that, did you summon the spirit? It's a bit of a leap. I don't know how Artin would figure that. It didn't look any different than one of Qwenn's other spells, so I don't think Artin would jump to that conclusion. In Artin's mind, this is more likely some advanced spell that Qwinn just hasn't shown off yet. I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't know I could either. I called forth the spirit that sustains me, so that it could lend us aid. I did not realize it would take this much out of me. It seemed a good idea at the time, if a little rash. I think it may have weakened the spirit a little.
It took you that long to figure it out, so you could kill yourself doing this. That makes sense. Yes, so considering that Qwinn told Artin the spirit is the only thing keeping me alive, and she just said, oh, I think this weakened the spirit, I don't think this is a jump at all. So you could kill yourself doing this.
Well, that's certainly conceivable. I suppose I shouldn't be using that particular trick to entertain children at parties.
Are you sure you can control that thing? I don't want you exerting yourself. You know yourself best. Yeah, Artin... I don't think Artin is the type of leader to try and micromanage her team. Qwinn is, you know, a woman of a certain number of years. She wouldn't have gotten that far if she was taking unnecessary risks. You know yourself best.
I promise I'll be careful. And thank you. Your concern is touching.
Qwinn. Yeah, I think Artin is a little worried about Qwinn. Like I said, she doesn't want to micromanage her. This is a grown woman. She's older than Artin. So I think it would be rather disrespectful of Artin just to be like, I know better, blah, 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 even though Qwinn has no problem taking that tone. But yeah, so like I was saying, I don't think that Artin would want to be taking a kind of I know better than you tone. At the same time, Qwinn is a good healer. There was that confusion in the Fade where Qwinn couldn't tell she was in the Fade. That I'd be lying if I said that Artin didn't think badly of Qwinn for that. Not badly. Badly is the wrong word, but Artin's kind of thinking, are you really as good a mage as you think you are? Yeah, you're an excellent healer. You are tending to the team superbly, but you are a senior enchanter and you couldn't figure out that you were in the Fade. Yet a dwarf who has never been in the Fade, admittedly, dwarves don't dream. Of course, that would feel very weird to Artin. At the same time, like, it's a double-edged sword, in my opinion. She's never been in the Fade. Of course, she would think it was weird, but she's never been in the Fade. Maybe she would be more easily tricked by demons, because she doesn't know what's happening. She doesn't know where she is. It's just like I said, the novice was able to figure out, I'm in the Fade, I'm not meant to be here. The woman who goes to the Fade every night as she dreams,
as you say,
couldn't figure out she was in the Fade. Does that sound like a competent mage to you? I don't think it does to Artin.
And here we are. Soldier's Peak. Maker's breath. Look at the size of her. What a fortress. I told you the map would get us through the tunnels.
Just admit it, you were lost a couple of times. Andraste's blood, how did you find that path on your own? She's impressive, that's for certain. Yeah, so this is a maze of tunnels leading to an old Grey Warden fortress. How did... yeah, and Levi did mention that he found this path on his own. How would he do that? Admittedly, I don't think Artin would say Andraste's blood, given that Andraste isn't particularly holy to Artin. By the stone, how did you find that path on your own?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Just tell me. Just admit it, you were lost a couple of times. She's impressive, that's for certain. Yeah, I think Artin would want to know. Just tell me.
It came to me in my dreams. When I was a lad, I tried going through the tunnel by myself. Got horribly lost. But every now and again since, I've dreamt of it.
Why didn't you mention this before? Let's carry on. Yeah, Artin would find that incredibly sketchy. What do you mean we're going off of your dream weirdness? Pardon? To be perfectly honest, if Artin had known he had scouted, I'm using that in inverted, in air quotes, had scouted the tunnels in his dreams, and that's how he got the path, I don't think Artin would have gone in. That's a bit too weird for her. Why didn't you mention this before?
I didn't want you to think I was some moon-addled simpleton. I've my wits about me, but enough of that. I'll follow you from a distance. This place has the stench of death. I expect there's trouble up ahead.
Soldier's Peak. Looks like it's seen better days. Better centuries, more like.
once the wardens flourished, their ranks full, their caliber certain. Now they even accept people like you, Alistair.
Hey.
Oh, Alistair. So in response to that, I don't think Artin thinks that Levi is a moon-addled simpleton. I think she kind of feels like he's a liar. To be perfectly blunt, I think she's feeling like you potentially led the last 2 Grey Wardens in Ferelden through a labyrinthine maze of tunnels. We could have gotten lost in there. We could have died. Then the blight would have consumed the world. What were you thinking? Why did you not tell us this? Also, I noticed the wisps knocking about. I'm sure if Artin could sense the fade, she would be commenting on how thin it feels. Oh dear. Okay, just a cutscene. No need to panic.
Fall back! Fall back already!
Taking the peak will not be easy, my lord.
I gave the Wardens one chance to die with honor. Instead, they hole up like cowards. We follow the King's advice, then. Starve them out.
But the peak has months of supplies.
Then we wait. When they are too weak to lift their weapons, we will send them to their final judgment.
What was that? Felt a bit woozy there. I'm not mad, am I? You saw it too?
I had a vision too, Levi. It was like a waking dream. Pull yourself together, let's go. I wish there was an option for what vision? I don't know what you're talking. And just like throughout the entire DLC, just convince Levi he's mad. There's an ending where Levi's like, it's too much, and like he jumps out of a window or something. I'm being terribly mean to Levi. I have nothing against Levi, don't get me wrong. It's... everything I've said to slag Levi off has been from Artin's perspective. Personally, I quite like Levi, he's funny. I don't think Artin... Oh god, would Artin call it a waking dream? That sequence in the fade was kinda trippy. For Artin. Ooh. I'm not sure, so I think I'm going to avoid it, and I'm gonna go for the safe option. I had a vision too, Levi.
How's that possible? This place truly is haunted.
The veil is thin here. The Circle Tower was that way too. The world is full of mysteries. Let's move on. So, it is true. The veil is thin here, and the Circle Tower was that way too. However, Artin can't feel the veil. So Artin might be told, you know, Morrigan or Qwinn might chime in and be like, oh yeah, the veil is super thin here. The veil was super thin in the circle. But I don't think Artin would be able to say that. She can't feel it for herself. The world is full of mysteries.
Yes, Warden.
Okay. Now then, what's knocking about here? I see corpses. I think I want to head up this way first. To the statue! What do you have to say? Ancient history. And a codex, okay. Let's see. Ancient history, learn more about the history of Soldier's Peak. Okay. King's Confidant, that's Return to Ostagar. Yeah, we've started that. Let me just tag those so they stop flashing up. Now then, culture and history. There we go. The History of Soldier's Peak, Chapter 1. The Grey Warden base at Soldier's Peak was built in the middle of the Glory Age, several decades after the Second Blight was ended. Before then, Grey Wardens in Ferelden would take up residence in castles and forts that belonged to generous nobles. Warden Commander Gaspar Asturian desired a fortified headquarters where his forces could train and live. He planned that Soldier's Peak would be a city unto itself. The defeat of the Darkspawn and the Archdemon Zazakale was fresh in the minds of the Ferelden people, and many were willing to donate gold to build Commander Asturian's fortress. Soldier's Peak was fully completed within 10 years and dedicated to the Maker in 934 glory. From The History of Grey Wardens in Ferelden by Brother Genitivi, Chantry Scholar. So this... I'm actually rather curious about that date because this will probably sound odd. 10 years seems like a very short amount of time for a castle to be completed. My math might be completely off, but I would have thought that a fortress of this scale would have taken at least 20 years. Then again, I'm not a builder, so I might be talking absolute rubbish. Y'all gonna start moving soon? Are you? I saw you corpses. There we go. Have you gotten up? No, they haven't gotten up. Oh, they're being lazy.
I am your death.
Excuse me. Sorry. There we go. Now you can get riposted. Levy's cowering in the corner, I see, but that is, to be fair, he's only a merchant. Oh, Morrigan. Levy, what are you doing? Why are you running into danger? Stay in the corner, it's safe there. Kick him. Now then, you. There we go. Last but not least, you can get flurried. Now then, anyone else? Who else wants to go? What's happening? What's happening? Oh, there you are! Hey guys! And okay, let's fight this guy. He's here. Flurry him. Is everyone okay? Yep, everyone is. Okay. Is there a mage up here? Oh god, there is. You get stunned. Come on, riposte. There we go.
Very well.
Alistair. There we go. He's down. Anyone else? Yep, we got more of them. You can get swept. And you? What have we got? Oh, Warden Master Scout. Okay. There we go. Oh, nice, Alistair.
Off me and you shall pay. I cannot keep this up.
Come on, take him out. There we go. And I think you're the last. Ooh. Damn, Artin. Finish with a flourish. Lovely. And then thank you. Now then, the Acolyte dropped something, and I believe the Master Scout will have too. Where's Levy? You alright, Levy? You kind of ran into danger there, buddy. You really didn't need to. As I was saying, he's only a merchant. Thanking you. And yes, the antique Warden crossbow. Unfortunately, we have no one who really uses crossbows, but still, it's a nice find. I'm sure Varric would approve. Of course, it doesn't compare nearly as much as it doesn't compare nearly to Bianca. And there's nothing else up here. So in the next episode, we will be heading into Soldier's Keep proper. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.